Hey, welcome my friends to another Torah Tuesdays. We are walking through the 10 Commandments, and this week we're going to be discussing the commandment to honor your father and your mother. This is an interesting commandment because this is the one single commandment that's actually attached with a blessing if you follow this commandment, in order that it may go well with you. And it literally reads, in order that they, kind of implying your parents, may cause your days to be prolonged upon the good ground that the Lord your God is giving you. Now, this is another one of those commandments that is a bit ambiguous and requires communities to search out with wisdom and honest intention. What does this commandment mean? How do we apply it to our lives? What does it actually mean to honor your father and your mother? And how far do we take this commandment? Right? If honor your father and your mother means to obey them, what if your parents are evil, wicked people? Or what if your parents maybe aren't evil, wicked people, but maybe they ask you to do something that you know is wrong? Are you honoring them by doing that, or are you actually bringing honor to them by not doing that? This is, of course, where we have to look at the context of what God is doing. Now, traditionally, this commandment has been understood, at least in part, as a commandment to honor them through proper taking care of them in their old age, providing essentially like nursing home care, but obviously within your own home was that culture at the time. Now that doesn't mean that today, perhaps it is a better way to honor your parents through putting them in a nursing home. Perhaps you aren't able to actually provide the care that they need. It's one of those things where we have to use wisdom and understand that times are changing. People have been able to live longer with chronic diseases due to our medical system. And so sometimes it is a little bit too hard for an individual to provide the level of round-the-clock care that, say, an advanced care facility like a nursing home or something like that can provide. Again, every situation is different. So it has that aspect of taking care of your parents in their old age. But there's some other things that come along with it. Number one, it does not say honor your father and your mother if they're good people. It doesn't say honor your father and your mother if you like them or if they were nice to you or anything like that. It kind of leaves it open. It's like, it doesn't matter. You still need to honor them. So what are some ways that we can honor them? Clearly, obeying them isn't necessarily the aim of this command, because they could command you to do wicked things, and that's not what the Bible, that's not what God wants you to do. However, you can honor them in a very specific way. And this is something that as a parent, I really learned how important this is. And that is the way that you behave reflects upon your parents. Think about this. If you are at a restaurant and someone's kids are screaming and yelling and they're throwing food and they're running up and down the aisles and the parents are doing nothing, are the parents misbehaving? Well, technically no, but you are going to see the way that their children behave and think poorly of those parents because they are not controlling their children. They are not raising their children properly. So one of the most important ways that we fulfill this commandment to honor our mother and our father is regardless of how well or how poorly they have treated you. We act with integrity, we act with honor, and we act in a way that is going to reflect well on our parents. We consider our action and say, you know what, if I do this thing, how will people think of my parents? This also works out with God too, because we are also the children of God, right? And how do people experience God? Most of the time. I'm not talking about religious people who go to church, people who believe in God. How do atheists, how do people of other religions experience our God? most of the time, it is through the way that we behave. Our honoring of God primarily comes from the way that we act around other people, the way that we treat others. Hey everyone, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this teaching, please do us a favor and go ahead and subscribe to this channel so that you can get future updates on new teachings that are available. And don't forget to check out the website faithofmessiah.com, where you can find a lot of great teachings as well as how to support this ministry. And if you'd like to invite Ryan White to speak, you can find out more information there. Shalom.